Yo, yo, yo. Everybody, we're back. Welcome back to the Sandbox podcast.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
Jared.
I'm Aisha.
I'm Aden.
And I'm Ashaki.
Whoa, we back. Episode 2. Y'all didn't think we're going to be here. Hold on.
Because we undermining the fact we got two new faces here today.
Oh, God, we got to introduce our lovely Who do I have to the left of me?
Okay, my name is Aisha. I'm actually a co-host, but I couldn't make it last episode, so this is my first official episode.
And my name is Ashaki, but I guess I'm now a co-host. I'm not sure.
Welcome. Can we get a round of applause for that? Come on, y'all. Now, who do we got in our studio audience today? Who do we got in the studio audience?
Yes, sir. Who want to lens?
All right, you already know. This boy Roger right here.
Raj.
Y'all not gonna speak up?
Right.
we got a couple of our boys in the studio with us today.
We got E and I.
You know, they're gonna be chiming in from time to time, giving their little opinions. Okay.
Right.
If you are in the building, please report to the front of the building.
Bryson, go home.
Please do.
She ready to
Your
go
mom's
now.
outside.
She's ready to go now.
High School, your ride is waiting. Bryson Dickens, report to the main office, the front of the building. Your ride is waiting.
Shout out Bryson Dickens though.
Hey, she was specific though. He was gonna get to
Yeah,
that front
she
office.
made sure he going up
had
there.
to get
Front
there.
office, main of the building. Your ride is waiting.
Oh God, but
She not finna keep waiting.
right. What's our topic today, guys?
Hey man.
All right, so
Actually, we're gonna let Aisha explore it because she's the most excited about it.
okay, yeah, I'm really excited, and I created the topic for this episode. So today the topic is what it means to be gifted and the adverse effects the gifted title can do to your mental health and the effects it has on you as a student overall.
That's that topic. It could mean so much. Like there's so many parts to explore when it comes to that. Especially I was anointed the gifted title in probably first grade. Could have only been first grade. And I didn't really think much of it because I didn't consider myself gifted. I just considered myself a kid who liked to read books. That's all I considered it.
Right.
And so when I was anointed the title, nothing much really changed. The first couple of years after that, pretty simple. It was when I had to start applying myself that I started to find myself, struggling. Because I feel like a common thing that gifted students can relate to is that it was easy in the beginning,
Very much so.
Very, very much so. And, with that feeling of having to apply yourself, and to me, it just didn't seem like the reward was in it for applying myself for work I was anointed, considering I definitely just wanted to read and chill and do my own thing. So I was completely cool with, oh, shoot, let me just finish this work. Do that work, whatever they give me. Do what I ever want to do after class. That's what school was for me, But then they saw I was capable, so they thought, okay, let's ramp it up for him, see what he could do in the future, and that's where it became a challenge.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I got into tag, which is talented and gifted.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
It messed me up so bad. Oh my God.
God.
I got into it in third grade. I actually failed the first time on the creativity portion, then I got in the second time.
Damn.
And I don't know why I wanted to be in it so bad. I guess it's the title, honestly. I always knew I was some form of capable because I moved faster than my peers. But like Aden said, you never really think much of it. You don't really consider yourself quote unquote actually gifted because,
You just see yourself as a regular kid for the most
right,
Yeah.
right. And then
Just
people
wanna eat
look
some
at you.
crayons.
Nah, crayons is crazy.
Eating crayons with paper with your other friends.
Oh God.
People just look at you and the way you're performing and then just put so many titles and expectations on you from such an early age. And it's cool up until you have to actually start thinking about life. Once you hit middle school and they start putting you in those high school level courses and then you hit high school, you have never had to study for a test until you fail a test and you don't understand why. But by that time, you are too old to have just naturally matriculated into learning how to study.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's where a lot of
huge.
gifted kids fall short when they're in college and stuff, is because they never learned how to study.
Mm-hmm. I think another thing is that, you know, when we being anointed that gifted title, a lot of the times I didn't even know what it entailed, but I knew I could see the excitement, you know, in my mom's eyes. So I wanted to keep pursuing this, you know.
Right. The validation.
It was a lot about validation, man, and less than being more about academics, you know.
Definitely. Like, I liked learning, but I can't say I didn't really like the school space, especially all the pressure. But when you get like all this validation from your parents because of your performance and the places that you can potentially be because of your mind,
It make you feel good.
yeah, it's very addictive. It's
Mhm.
very, very addictive. And then when you reach a point where like you fail, because as a human you're going to fail, it's like your whole world comes crashing down because you've never failed before.
We all develop that fear of failure. And I had to learn to get past that at some point, because without failure, there is no success.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel, and that's another thing that I really can't stand, so to speak. Our parents try to shield us from so much. I feel like we need at least a little bit of hardship here and there so we can learn how to bounce back from it even harder, so to speak, because without that hardship, you won't truly learn a lesson.
The
See.
development.
Oh yeah, what were you saying though?
Oh, what do you mean?
I thought you were on the development.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying the development. Like, struggling through something makes you a stronger person overall.
Oh yeah, you definitely what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, you know. But I will say with me, you know, going throughout my school years, it was hard for me to define what was necessarily a failure, because I've always been the student that would do what needs to be done to get by, because I was never the type to apply myself to things I didn't want to apply myself to. It was always my weak suit. So if I could do this to get a 70, I would.
Do it. You gonna do it.
I was gonna do it. I was going bullcrap to the end of the year, man.
You
Get
gonna
that
do
70.
it.
Hey, but it would happen every year, and I would be like, my mom would just be like, Aden, if you would just apply yourself a little bit more, and I'm like, I know.
Yeah, and I can do it, but I just don't.
I choose
wanna
not
do
to.
it. Yeah, and I had an experience, and I was in like elementary school where they put me in remedial classes, but I had passed all my map tests. I had passed all my tests. I just wanted to draw instead of reading the book that was put in front of me because it was boring. I didn't really care about World War I. I cared about the lines that I was drawing, how my pen stroked and stuff like that. And the lady that asked me, she was like, "Why are you in here? All your test scores are perfect. You're passing your classes. Why are you in here?" And it was just because I didn't want to do the work and because I didn't want to apply myself to the things that I didn't want to apply myself
Okay,
to.
speaking of art at an early stage, though, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I remember being in third grade, and I was the best drawer in that class. Couldn't nobody see me. I'm talking about folks.
Young
like,
Picasso?
Aden. Oh, man, Young Picasso. Oh, God. They'll be like, "Oh, Aden, all them girls, Aden, you can draw me?" "Oh, yeah, for sure." You know, I got them little shoes, a little, like...
I know what you're talking about.
You were drawing the little
Oh,
S
God,
on
I
the
was
folders
too
or
far. You
something.
couldn't tell me nothing. But the whole next day, guess who's gonna come? A new Aden, bro. His name is Aden. I'm like, oh, shoot. You know, I got another me. We're gonna be friends, whatever. Why the teacher gonna name me Aden too?
No.
That was
No
the
way.
thing
That's sick.
that got me. And you know what else he did? He was an artist too.
Oh,
He came in,
and
got me in my own game. I was so sick, bro.
No, because that's what happened to me at Chick-fil-A. So okay, so I was this happened in like January, maybe December. So there used to be another guy named Jared. He came back. He's like 26. He was tall, light skinned, but basically
Curly hair.
No, he had short hair, but he was just like me. Loved music, goofy as all, just whatever. And was cool with everybody inside the Chick-fil-A and hated management. I could not stand management at Chick-fil-A, but that's a whole different story. But so I really felt where you were coming from.
They come and take your whole
They
spot.
literally.
God,
I
they
swear,
replace
bro,
you.
these alternate universes of ourselves just be coming in, messing with what we got.
They literally they label me. "Oh, that's Lil Jared," or that's dark skinned Jared. I was like, "Oh, that's how you feel." I was like,
Right.
Oh, okay.
bro, I was like,
Y'all just going throw me in the trash.
yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'ma just go rock, and I definitely rocked until April 1st, and I said, I'm out.
As you should, cause you know what? Not shout out older Jared.
Nah, he cool. Nah, shout out.
cool?
Nah, shout out, bro.
I thought we were hating on
Oh
him.
no,
for a
we
second.
love
My bad.
older
Shade.
Jared. He hilarious.
For sure.
We'll tell the Chick-fil-A
It's
stories.
hard to
another
hate
day.
yourself, huh?
It is
I
hard.
love
It is
myself
hard
so
because I
much.
I thought Aden 2. I mean Aden 1 was kind of cool. You know, he was a little fire with the drawings. He did put me on a little something. I stole a little bit of that man technique from time to time. I'm not gonna count. He was a cool little dark skinned kid. I'm not gonna hate on him. Hold that grudge from like.
Hope he's doing
grade.
good.
I don't know about all that.
Oh.
But, I hope he's still alive.
And going back to what Aisha said about how being gifted or being a part of tag or having a really large label or a lot of weight on your shoulders, it really did affect me as a person. And it caused me, like the fear that you speak about, and it caused me to fear not even being successful. It caused me to fear the stuff that comes with being successful. And
it's a lot of anxiety.
You fear the hardships that may come with it. So
yeah, that's
you fear the struggle.
Yeah. And then now that I used to love bragging about how I'm a part of tag, how I'm taking college courses, how I'm passing my math classes, how I'm ahead a year. And now I'm like, what is it?
It just brings this negative stigma.
It was definitely my mom bragging about me. I would never brag.
No,
because life. Oh, you hear what my son just did in school? Mom, I didn't even want to be there today.
And it feels like to a certain extent, like our parents are trying to live their lives
vicariously
through us. And I hate that so much because I always get the fact, you're better than this. And I know I can do good, but sometimes I just have that lack of motivation. I have to build that back up in myself for myself to be able to want to go and do
and you have to
tangent.
want it for yourself.
Exactly.
When you can't stay motivated, stay consistent.
Stay consistent.
When you can't stay motivated, stay consistent.
Not even just that, but like I have literally had my worth as a person compared to a score, like by my parents. Like, definitely. Oh, why'd you get this score? You're worth so much better than that. I am a human. A score is not comparable, point blank. And putting those C's into my head, like, oh, you got a 92. Why didn't you get an 100? Oh, you got a 92. Who got the highest grade in the class? Yeah. Now suddenly it's like,
not even competition.
I did all this for you and it's not enough. You know what I mean? But they don't perceive it that way. You know what I mean? They perceive it as just a question being asked, but that question has a lot of implications and then it just builds up. You know what I mean? And then you're in this constant like journey to please your parents. But at the end of the day, after you reach a certain age, everything you do will no longer affect them. If anything, it's just a title. It's just bragging rights.
You know what's crazy? I was always like, even as a kid, I was living in that mindset that what I did would be coming back to me. I would always have to face my consequences.
I'm so glad you came to that realization.
No, that's just the kind of person
that's
I was.
That's just common sense.
Like, I was like, my mom,
all the time,
she would always tell me, Aden, whatever you do will always fall back on me. I'm like, okay. I do it anyway. I wouldn't care because it would still be me at the end of the day. And, it is wrong to think that, it would only fall back on me because legally it has to fall back onto somebody of age.
Yeah.
That's not a minor. But I say that to say that I would always do it for me. If I didn't want to apply myself and it stressed me out, I wasn't going to stress myself out.
Right.
I just wouldn't.
See,
not for anybody else.
You were more of like a free mind, a free thinker at a young age. I was not. Like my parents really sheltered me and put every single one of their values and beliefs into my head. So I was just like a mini them walking around. You know what I mean? And I was really shy. I couldn't stand up for myself like any of that. Like I had to change myself and become the person I've always wanted to be. And in that process, like, I've pissed my parents off and I will continue to piss them off to be the person that I want to be and live the life I want to live. Right. But culturally speaking, like it's very, very hard for me to do that. And a lot of people don't get that.
I think it definitely always goes back to our parents because I'm so grateful that my mom raised me to be someone who had free will, and could make the decisions they wanted to and could face the repercussions and would know what's coming. Because even now, I'll make my own decisions and face the repercussions just like I was as a child, Yeah. And obviously, I'm making bigger decisions now. And, they carry more burden or more weight and, will impact my future, especially the decisions I'm making now, my senior year. But she instilled into me that free will is more important than listening and following something you don't believe in.
Exactly. And that's where I keep saying the cultural standpoint comes in because Americans are a lot more free than people are in other countries. And not even speaking from like a political sense, just a mindset sense, like where my parents are from or where I'm from, Senegal, like it's very, very traditional and it's an Islamic country. You are raised to listen to your elders 24/7. It does not matter how wrong they are. It doesn't matter what they're telling you to do. You have to do it. You can be 35 years old and your parents are like 68. You still have to do what they say. There is no point where you become an independent.
See, I will say one thing I do envy and admire is that discipline y'all have.
Yeah.
Because I will see y'all working y'all butt off, and I'm just like, man, they getting it done though. And it's
I don't have a
you
choice.
can't see, you don't, and you won't see that in a lot of people. You know, they are allowed to fall back and regress into, you know, that feeling of, oh, I don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to. But for y'all, it's this has to get done.
Yeah, it's a mandatory thing.
Yeah, and you know, it's pros and cons to that both, but you know, that tenacity to work is definitely admirable on some standpoints.
I agree. I feel like the self-control that I've been raised to have, especially with being the oldest, has helped a lot, like academically and just really mentally
now
overall.
Some people are working to build that self-control. Now they see that I have to have self-control to do my work and get these things done. And you know, you were I wouldn't say
only
lucky
gets harder
enough to be raised to have some self-control. But now you're learning to work on your free will aspect, you know.
Right,
so it's always spectrums to both, you know.
There's a caveat.
Yeah, it's definitely a caveat.
Y'all know I don't know what that word
It's like it's a benefit, or you know,
like it's good, up
something.
until
Yeah.
It's a silver lining and something. That's what a caveat is. But speaking,
like the fine print on like a contract, I guess you could say.
Yeah. No, that's not.
I see where he's going. I can't give you the Webster's dictionary version, but I think in pictures, so I can't explain it. But kind of like,
for sure.
You think in pictures? What does caveat look like? Like,
like everything going smooth and then just
like it's great up until or like.
See, I thought a caveat was actually a negative, but it's actually a benefit to something. Yeah, because caveat sounds like. Oh, that sounds like a negative word. But
I'm gonna look this up.
No, I looked it up.
Please.
That is insane. No, because I want to know.
By definition, a caveat.
A warning or caution.
Warning or
Look
caution.
at the second definition.
So like fine print on a contract, so to speak.
But wouldn't a warning be beneficial in some case?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to know ahead of time. It's a warning and joining from certain acts or practices.
Am I tweaking? We got the same Google? Because on God, they told me a caveat was a benefit or a silver lining or something.
I don't know.
Maybe the definition.
On God,
there's no way it can be. There's no.
on Google.
I don't know
Scared me.
That was Internet
Scared
Explorer.
you. Oh, trust me, you don't want me to touch any of these other buttons. There's.
Oh my God. I mean, I just feel like there's no way caveat can be something negative and then be something positive because that's really, really confusing by definition.
I be making these words mean what I want them to.
And you know what? You were using the word properly though. So
hey, if it work, man. I don't care. I'm gonna speak, but I'm gonna say what I want to say. English already stupid enough, bro. Why is there a K at the beginning of knife? Why is there?
That's real. That is real,
bro. These words just be so stupid. Whoever came up with silent letters just didn't want us to speak, bro. They didn't want us to win any spelling bees. That's what it was.
I won one.
Nah,
we know
spelling
you
bee
won
champ
one.
right here.
Oh, literally
In Senegal.
Miss Senegal. We know you won one.
Whatever.
Oh.
All right, so we just got totally off topic.
We really did.
Like
though.
Because how we go from Chick-fil-A to second grade schooling to what we hit after that?
Spelling bees.
Spelling bees, man. Definitions of caveats.
What's her name?
Silent
Right.
letters.
I mean, if you guys want to move to a next topic, we can. But if anyone wants to expound upon like the gifted title,
I guess.
And
well, like add
what words
on.
were you mixing right there?
I don't know.
Expound is crazy.
I
She
don't
got
know.
the word of the day app on her phone.
Word of the day.
Let me look it
expound.
up.
Hey,
Present
man.
and explain. See, you guys are coming
Boy,
after
I
me
swear to
about
God,
what words
the
mean.
English
And
language-
I know what expound means. Don't
God,
ever
that word
criticize
came
me
out
about a word
yesterday.
meaning ever
Oh,
again.
God.
Ever.
I'm just on time with the buttons. I'm just on time. That's why I'm here.
But nah, we just gonna jump right into that next topic. Segue into what it is to be an artist in school and the strife that's faced with that. We know what it is to be gifted in school, and you know the pressure that comes with it, along with the anxieties. But a lot of the times, being an artist in school is, you know, the opposite polarity. It's the wanting to be even more free and feeling confined by the box you're in. You know,
Right.
You know, me and Ashaki were talking about this earlier, and we're always talking, you know, always talking, always brainstorming, always having a chat just about anything and everything, you know.
That's the artist mindset.
It's the artist mindset.
It is, man, because, you know, as an artist, oftentimes I don't compare myself to other people's work because that's when you lose it.
Mhm.
But artists are so similar, in their mannerisms and just as people, and a lot of the times, what's the word? Artists are typically the same people,
Just in different forms.
just in different forms.
And that might be art, that might be acting, that might be, I
yeah,
don't know, recording
Music,
a video, being able to edit the
you
video
know,
in the way you want to record it. And it's
because
still art.
taking a step back from the word art is just expression.
Right.
Whether you're singing, you're dancing, you're putting it on the paper, you want to speak it like a podcast. It's all just expression.
Shout out Sandbox podcast.
Hey, shout out to Sandbox podcast.
Shout out to
the
Sandbox.
podcast. And that expression, it typically comes from wanting to be understood.
Right.
Your
I
audience.
want to piggyback off of that in a second. I'm gonna let you finish.
You want your audience. For me, my audience was my mother. I wanted her to understand me more and, understand why, Mom, I don't want to do the things they want me to do in school.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it didn't come across. But, as I grew to, rely on my art for expression, it grew with me, as my medium. And, in a sense, my brand RTW, Reveal the World, it's just a culmination of my morals and, how I see the world and how I think the world should be seen through other people's eyes.
Right.
And that just goes back to expression and expressing the way that I feel. And so, as artists with expression, I think it goes hand in hand with not hand in hand, but the two polarities of gifted students and artists in school, because 9 times out of 10, the gifted students are just the artists.
Right.
Gifted kids are special needs.
Literally, bro. The gifted kids, I
That's
swear to God, bro. They be
I don't want to
It's
invalidate
real.
people with like actual special needs, but it is a form of special
What do you
needs.
mean actual? Like, we not the ones with actual. It's us.
Nah, we do be having some like personal issues.
It be crazy when I be noticing it. Like, bro, I was at the court one day with my homeboys, and I'm on my phone trying to figure something out.
Mhm.
And then my one homeboy, hey, y'all trying to run another match? Hey, y'all trying to go get some Chick-fil-A? They asking me all kind of questions. I'm like, hold on.
You got to process it one at a time.
Yeah, and I just screamed, and I'm like, hold on, is that a normal person reacting to scream when you're overwhelmed?
I mean, it just depends on who you ask, I guess you could say.
It
depends on who you
depends.
ask, but ADHD is a spectrum.
That's true.
Nothing really weird about that shit.
Yeah, I don't think it's abnormal, but then also at the same time, ADHD and autism manifest differently in Black people. So how can you really say like, okay, this is normal? So I feel like it's a culmination of things that you have to take into an account before.
I meant less normal and more indicative of ADHD, because
It
I
could be.
was looking at the signs and just all my mannerisms, and I was like, no, I knew something was up when I was supposed to go put a pizza in the oven, and I ended up fixing my desk, and I was like, hold on, this is not what I came in the house for. Why am I upstairs when the pizza is downstairs? Why didn't
Sounds like you need a
I had
referral.
one task, and I ended up fixing my desk. Like, I always gotta go down my line. So I knew something was a little up. But yeah, what was you saying, Jared, when you was talking about you want to piggyback off that?
So I feel like there's a stigma when it's attached. Like, I'm in my head, there's two different kinds of gifted kids. You have your gifted kids that are smart in the aspect of, let's say, academics with math, reading, writing, and then you have your gifted students that are more catered towards the arts. So I would say film, theater, and let's say singing for that matter. I feel as if we are all grouped together in one sense, and then we can't really be tendered to accordingly. Like, we're all marginalized in a sense where we all have to go inside with this one belief, I guess you could say. It's hard for me to try to process the words.
I see what you're saying, because I think at its core, with gifted children, it's about, perception. And, on the artist side, we have the ability to perceive, what we want to express. And, on the more, I guess, academic side, you have the ability to take in what's, being tutored to you.
Right. And
with a
apply
better
it.
ability than other students might have. You have a better perception. You know, that's what I think it is, you know, a heightened perception and ability to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, you know, even on both sides, whether you're more academic or, you know, more art focused, you know, you always have the ability to perceive. Because art, all it is perception, bro. That's all it is. Any artist will tell you, you just got to make it. You just got to be able to see it in your head and you got it. That's all it is. And just apply that effort. And that's all it is on the other side of the spectrum, you know, of the more academic side, just perceiving it.
I'm sorry, I can't. I got it. Shout out E for bumping again. Shout out to E.
Hey man,
No, because he called. He
put
called
up 3
me.
twin. That was the 3.
The 3.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, for sure. Twin
I
headers.
just get up and just be like, my fuck, so niggas like slide across the floor. They get
Well, E, hop on real quick.
Oh,
Say
yeah.
what you.
Give
Yeah.
your final words.
Just give your final words.
I mean,
You know,
y'all
say
right,
goodbye.
Me being gifted and all. I mean, can I just yell?
If you want.
Get out the room.
Get out.
Get out the room.
We'll get you on next week.
He talking about, can I just yell? What?
Don't bump into the camera again, please.
Hey,
Oh,
you know what? That interruption.
Your pants stuck.
Your
to the
pants
door.
are stuck to the
Stuck to
door.
Oh my God. Get the camera on that. Get the camera.
Oh my.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out E, bro.
Nah, shout out you, bro.
Right.
Shout
But
out. E.
honestly, I just feel like as an artist in school, I am held back on many different levels. And I'm not saying held back like
School wasn't made for you.
yeah, I know. But I'm not saying held back in terms of like I'm literally like behind in so many ways. I'm saying held back like when I draw a certain way, my teacher's like, no, this is wrong. But art doesn't have
Art
a
is
right or a
subjective.
wrong.
It's in the
Exactly.
eye of the beholder.
Art in school is so. I just think, why is there? What's the word? It start with a C. It start with a C.
Correlate.
Why is there a curriculum for art class? You know, teach me the basics. You know, tone,
That's
depth.
curriculum.
No, what they do in
You're
art
talking
class.
about like the restrictions and like the standards they place on the quality of your art.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the purpose of art. I mean, art class. The purpose of art class is to introduce people that aren't familiar with art.
Not really. After a certain point, you have to perfect your
I
technique.
mean, but that's why there's multiple art classes. With them being experienced artists, of course, they're gonna feel like, why am I restricted from doing the things I want to do?
Right.
It's less of why am I being restricted from the things I want to do, and more of why are you restricting my medium? For me, I'd be in art class, and you know, they're gonna tell you what you got to draw. If you got to draw feet, you got to draw some feet. But you know,
It's how you
That's
draw
why
it.
they-
it's how you draw the feet that they want to see, and if they don't like how you draw it,
You have to redo it or it's not good enough. And to tell me that my art isn't good enough as an art teacher, it makes me feel some type of way because you are somebody I look up to. I don't have to necessarily look at your art and think, oh, this is great, this is good, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, I don't like this, because who am I to say that I don't like your artwork when your
Yeah.
artwork is your expression?
and you
Right.
know, a lot of the time as artists, most of us are self-taught, so it's hard to find a mentor who can teach you, you know, what you don't even know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're just, you know, searching for, okay, how do I do this? How do I make it look like this? And you might go through 5 trial and errors. But, you know, what I expected from art class was to further my abilities, not necessarily critique.
From a certain standpoint.
Yeah, I see what
That's
Iman
not
was
even
saying
mine.
earlier, huh?
I was saying, pass Iman the mic.
Right. I see why there is like quote unquote a curriculum for art classes because like Iman said, some kids aren't really familiar with art, and in order to get familiar and find your own proper form of expression and your own technique, you have to learn like the basics or the textbook components of art before you can reach that. You have to know how to copy and imitate before you can actually make your own, because some people don't know how to find their voice at first. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to
So
be
for
shown
you,
how.
you guys are lucky enough to like have that. But for me, like I have not a creative bone in my body. So
Yes, you do.
I can't.
Oh gosh,
You
you
know
do.
what's crazy?
She like
No.
she writing papers and stuff for people. like, girl.
I've heard you speak, and the way you articulate yourself is something indicative of someone that really wants to showcase what they have to the world.
Exactly.
It's just they may not necessarily know how to go about it through a specific medium for that matter.
You know what's
Definitely.
You know what's crazy though? I forget, like, as a perceiver, you know, who can just see what I want to draw when I want to draw it.
Right.
I forget that that's not in everybody.
It's not.
And I
It's
think
not.
that
It's
is.
so
I
hard.
think that is. I
I
just be
think
like,
it's
just draw.
'cause
Just draw.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to get better, just draw. What you mean you can't do it?
I mean, but I think that is kind of selfish of us to think that, because it's like,
Hey, get good.
I mean,
If you want to get good,
you know,
get good.
But I have also offered to teach people how to draw, how to paint, and when I do get people to like try to do what I do, I don't tell them that they're wrong. I don't tell them that the things that they're doing are wrong.
Like won't benefit them.
Yeah, I won't show you how to blend a color with acrylic paint and then you do it wrong, or you add too much of this color and then I'll tell you that, oh no, that's not the right color.
You know, I think a lot
I'll
of the
tell
time,
you, but I don't know.
people find such trouble, you know, being artists because they judge themselves so hardly. You know, they'll, okay, you know what? I feel like
Definitely. I'm
drawing
really
today. So
self-critical.
they'll draw something and they're like, I don't like the way it looks.
Yeah.
I draw stuff all the time. I'm like, I don't like the way it looks. And I still have to keep drawing.
Mhm.
It's, you know, it's less of, you know, having the ability to draw and more of having the ability to keep drawing.
Right.
Right.
That's the only way, you know, hey, when you can't stay motivated, stay consistent.
You know what I also think it is? I just came to this revelation. So you know how we were talking about gifted students, you know, not too long ago?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Some kids are gifted in both forms. They're academically gifted and
Shout out to
creatively
Mill Sims.
gifted.
Shout out to
But but some people are not. Some people are either one or the other, or like moderately good at the other.
on the
Yeah.
spectrum,
So
on both
for
spectrums.
me, I'd say like, sure, I'm academically gifted, but what does that mean? Anyway, but I'm not creatively gifted. And because of the way
Or
I
less creatively gifted.
what?
Like less creatively gifted
Yeah.
than you are academically gifted.
Right. So the way I perceive academia and like how I can excel at it, like I have to grade myself a little bit harshly. Like I have a
do.
curriculum to refer to. I have a rubric to refer to.
Mhm.
But when it comes to art, you don't. And my brain just does not function that way because from day one, I've been raised against these set of rules and restrictions for every part of my life. So when I approach art, it's like I
You
have all
have
this
rules.
free will and space that I don't know what to do
That's
with.
so crazy because I love finding myself in that free will. Oh, I'm gonna draw anything today.
Yeah.
And this can be crazy. It could be something I've never drawn before. Like, and it just, I could never see myself drawing. I would love it. I love that free will. It's amazing. I find my peace in there. I find my peace in that blank canvas.
And
I
you
feel
know
like
what's
that's how it's
crazy?
with
Oh, continue.
poetry.
That is, bro. I'm telling you, artists
Don't
love
make
that
me.
free
Don't
will.
make me go get a point.
Hey,
Do I gotta pull out one of
Don't
those?
make me go get a
hold on.
I'll tell. Because I like where you were going with that. Because you were saying something along the lines of just free will and just feeling like, oh, say I want to draw a flower this day, I'll just go and draw this. I remember I was coming in. I was still at Banneker at the time. I was
Go ahead,
coming
bro.
in.
He's gonna go
In
grab
front of the
some.
camera.
Oh, for sure. But look, I was coming back in. I was at Banneker.
Mhm.
Not trying to have a poem off. We have a poetry slam right here, right now. I'm gonna kill you.
See,
booty fat.
Wow.
we're gonna have to bleep that out.
that out.
But I mean, I've had a hatred for poetry for a really long time. And
Really?
yes, and the reason why I've come to realize is because of the subjectivity and all of the space you have to kind of interpret this work of just words.
Mhm.
And for me, like all this textbook rules that I have to follow, like it's
It's ingrained in you.
yeah, so like I can't, it's hard for me to look at poetry and understand what it means and really visualize what's going on and conceptualize it. But sit down.
Girl, you are okay. We just had a whole situation with
just had that
Eve.
man-
Right,
Oh,
he just
on the camera,
fell.
like,
Oh God.
But
Okay.
not. It's so crazy hearing you saying that and getting that perspective because I relish in the feeling of just being able to write whatever I want to write. And it
I've
can
grown
be what it
into
is.
that. I've started journaling, but I do like poetry. Well, I kind of like it when I write it, but like I don't write it enough to really.
I say just take some time for yourself. You don't even have to really say, you know what, I'm gonna write a poem today.
Yeah,
I just say
definitely not.
let it come to you naturally
Throw it
because
out there.
what I've learned, because when you overthink poetry so much, you get lost in what you're really trying to say. And if you just let it flow out of your being in and of itself, you'll find yourself making something.
Because
that you
poetry
didn't
is
think you
just
could.
that.
Go line on the line.
You go ahead, get out. Go ahead, leave.
Yeah.
No, I'm playing. But you know,
That's
poetry
alright.
is just in itself, you know, another form of that expression, you know. So if you try to limit it or put restrictions on your expression, of course you're gonna be hit, you know, at a standstill because you know you're trying to find the rules to it.
Yeah.
But we don't even know the rules to our feelings most times than not.
Definitely. When I started, is this? Am I?
You hearing the static?
Sad, yeah. I think we all hear
Is this
that.
sound okay?
No,
Okay.
I had Aden's mic only one listening through headphones.
Okay. I thought I was crazy.
So that static not gonna show up in the recording, though, right?
Nah.
All right, for sure.
No, I forgot what I was saying.
You were talking about, you know, I already forgot what you were saying to me.
Y'all, I
What's
just
up?
wanted to
You know
share
what?
a poem.
Hey,
Oh, we
So-
say that last.
So look, you
line.
go first. You
Give
go
him,
first.
give him a little teaser. You know, say that last line. Show how good that last line was.
With hate being such a
Read
powerful...
the title first. Read the title first. Though. What's the title?
Okay. The line... The
thin
line... Oh, right. The thin line between love and hate was the name of the poem. And the ending that me and Aden more than I, came up
More
with
me and Ashaki.
was, with hate being such a powerful word, I get scared to use it. With love being so gratifying, I apologize, I get scared to abuse it.
Mm.
Ooh.
Who came up with that?
Yeah, he did.
That's definitely an Aiden
Yeah,
line.
that
Definitely Aden
is. But the whole poem is, I love how you love me, but hate that you love me so much. I love how you hate me and treat me mean, but I hate how your hate affects me. I hate that when all you want is love and affection from me, I don't give it to you. But when I want it, you don't give it to me, and it hurts my feelings. I hate feelings. I hate love. And I hate feeling, but I love feeling loved. Knowing that I am not my feelings, just the one who feels them. I hate that process of healing isn't linear. I love that I get the chance to experience infatuation, but I don't desire the feeling of heartbreak. I hate that I'm a void filler and not a void healer. With hate being such a powerful word, I get scared to use it. With love being so gratifying, I get scared to abuse it.
You know, I really love that I can just see your mind coming out in your poetry. Like, my
Right.
poetry, for me, it's more about the symbolism. You're
Yeah.
gonna get the message, but you really wouldn't tell if it was just me venting. But for you, I can tell that it was you, you know, sitting down in your room thinking about what you're feeling.
Yeah.
And I really like that, you know, because it's a different form of expression. I always love seeing that, you know. I'm excited to see how Jared writes his
Oh
Okay.
yeah, let's go.
I love Jared's
Okay.
poems.
Wait, honestly.
Which one
Hey,
should I read?
shout out these Edgar
I don't
Allan
even
Poes.
know.
Wait, honestly, I'm
Alright.
sorry. Y'all, I'll be scared to read. So if I be mixing up my words,
Oh, no, it's
that's
okay,
why.
girl. It's okay.
It's okay.
Ooh,
Right.
Really?
I think once I started becoming more in tune with my emotions and not being so hard on myself because of how I feel, I started to understand poetry more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like
Right.
it more. So I was kind of like putting a block on how I feel because logically speaking, I have other things to deal with. So I
Yeah.
wasn't catering to
your emotions.
right. So when I started to, it was just like a rush and it was really, really bad because I was suppressing all these things from when I was like little. So when I did start like reading poetry, it was like, oh,
Okay.
what was I missing before? But
Exactly.
really it was the emotional standpoint.
You know, you weren't in it before. you know.
Right.
You
Bust
weren't in
it.
tune.
Throw it down.
All right, so I'm gonna read something. So I wrote this at Banneker. If anybody knows anything about Banneker, you know it is very depressing there.
Really?
So
As all schools are.
yeah, we'll talk about different schools at a different day. But
Yeah. Another topic.
Shout out Banneker.
so I call this double
don't know about
cups,
that one.
and
Right.
like we were saying with the free
Double
will,
cups.
Yeah,
Oh
double
my
cups.
gosh.
No, I was walking around school. I had just had Bojangles, and I was finishing up my lemonade. And I said double cups out of nowhere, and
thought
I
it was
don't
a
know.
reference.
it just started flowing. I went to the library. I didn't know what really came over me because I was sitting in the stairwell, and I just sat there with my second. I was like,
Just finished that
double cups.
Bojangles.
I was like, double cups, double cups, double cups, and it started flowing out. So
I love that.
I
Let's
hope
hear
y'all
let's
like
hear
it.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so
Alright, let's go.
double cups by me, of course, but double cups for the day that I damn my soul. Constantly pouring my life away shall surely take a toll. Being that I created my circumstances, I must be reminded that love can be as small as a lump of coal. I do as I please, playing Russian roulette with every certain sip, drowning in the pit of pain as loved ones tell me to catch a grip. Purple resembles royalty, but all I see is regret. A well of wishes fills my mind as my escape from this game has been set. Call it what you want as I wash away with some of the royal flush as I cast my bet. The sound of cracked seals rings my ears as if it were a bell. People ramble on after can't speak. But
okay.
People ramble on about the afterlife, but I believe this is hell. The world is ending as we know it is all. The mighty man have fell. The day of salvation shall come, but only the time will tell. I'll make heaven for myself as I try to reach my goal. But until the day comes, I'll have my double cups for the day that I damn my soul.
So
I like that.
Are you a rapper? Are you a what are you
Right,
doing?
it's giving
What y'all
rapping,
know
but
about
you can
King
also
James?
add a poetic voice.
Y'all know about King J.
No.
I know about that.
What time we at? Because we got one more.
We're at 40.
We're at 40.
All right,
Yeah.
we're going to use these last like 15, 20 minutes to talk about what it is to be an entrepreneur in school.
Good
Because
God.
I feel
yeah.
like as a gifted student, as an artist, as an entrepreneur, if you're all three, you know it is some damn hell. That's all it is.
You sound like
Yeah.
somebody's uncle when you said that. You had
Right.
so much passion.
Twin, I be feeling it every day.
I definitely think that is true. Like, I think we live in an age where everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, and we have a lot more than we did before. It's becoming more accessible. Everybody wants it for themselves. Nobody wants to work a 9 to 5.
Right.
Honestly,
No.
nobody does. But running a business is so much harder. That is not a 95.
No.
That is not a 9 to 5. That is like
An 8 to
23 hours of your day.
Yeah.
But people
It's-
don't realize that. You know what I mean?
You know,
You giving your whole life.
people-
Oh.
Oh yeah, you can go.
I was just saying, like, as a person that wants to be an entrepreneur, you're giving your whole life and will be
Yes.
an entrepreneur.
Right.
As a person who is an entrepreneur, you're giving your life, you're giving your all money or more or less currency than like an average person would. Like, and starting a business and knowing how to run a business is not for everybody, and not everybody knows how to start a business and run a business. You can have the funds
Say that
to start a
again.
business, but you might not know how to run a business, which means you are going to have to pay other people to run your business, which means is it really your business? Or
No.
I mean, it
Not-
is.
You lose
is.
out
It's like
before
you're
you
an
win.
investor.
You're an
Yeah.
investor in the
You have
business.
to oversee the business. Every
You know,
Yeah.
and I definitely think that a lot of the time what people are lacking in their business startup is the less so dedication, but what would be the word?
The
The knack for it. I
the
feel like a
knack,
lot of
the
people lack that
financial
entrepreneurial bone in their body. Like, you can have so many, not even niche. That's not the right word. But I feel like some people want to have a business, but they don't understand how that works, and they don't know how to market themselves. They don't know how to communicate. They don't have any of that coming naturally to
You
them.
know, and a lot of the time, you want to know why? It's because that's not them. Their business is more times than not just, a cash grab. And there's nothing wrong with that, a business that makes you money. But most successful businesses are businesses that are built from the heart.
Right.
Right.
It's an investment you're putting every day. You're investing into your business, your time, your money,
It has to be something you love.
It has to be something you love. You have to be married to your brand willingly. You have to work for your brand. You have to cry for your brand. Hey, shout out Bonnet Boys.
Shout out to the Bonnet
Shout out
Boys.
Bonnet Boys, bro.
So you gonna make me a hat? Is all I'm hearing.
Of course.
What's the prices?
We're looking at.
We'll talk about
We'll
that
talk about
after.
that. We'll talk about
Hey,
that.
we'll talk. But like, most definitely being an entrepreneur in school is more than just about selling apparel or, selling whatever you're choosing to sell. It's
Yeah.
about networking at all times, pushing your brand to people you may not even know yet. You may see this girl, you might be like, I just know she would be a fit. And you might have to go have that uncomfortable conversation like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, have you ever modeled? How old are you? Would you be interested in modeling? I see you over here. I just really love your energy. And, it's about always scouting, always having that business on your mind. It has to be on your mind at all times because you don't know who your next business partner is going to be. You
And-
have to be prepared and ready.
That's why I feel
Right.
like more so entrepreneurship now is more so about selling a story rather than a product.
Yes, because anybody can make a product, but can you make these people want to buy your product?
You know, it's my sister always tells me the key to actually being an entrepreneur is selling a lifestyle, and particularly the lifestyle you want to live.
Exactly.
Because after you have your product, you have yourself who produced the product. So
Right.
now you have to endorse yourself and your product. So when you can endorse yourself and make people want to see your product and they see it on you or, you know, your model or whoever you have it on, and they see them living this, you know, lifestyle or that caters to what they want to live, that's going to give them that desire to want it. But you have to be able to produce that and produce that image that people will want.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times that's just people can't see it because they're not truly married to their brand.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and that's what it takes to truly be an entrepreneur. Have that marriage and not want to divorce, you know?
Or
You
being
can't-
able to even when you want to give up, or even when your brand not even doing good enough, or as doing as well as you wanted to, you don't just give up on it and just be like, okay, well, let's start
It's
something new.
whatever,
You got to
bro.
keep working. You got to
I'm
keep
saying.
Right.
managing.
You know.
You got to learn your learn the people, learn your audience, learn who you want to sell to, market. You got to do that stuff for yourself because you know
Mhm.
you married to it, and you decided to get married to it, so you
Yeah,
got to
and-
decide to work yourself.
Yeah,
way
a
through
lot
it.
of the time, you know, especially me, I've had like 3 times I've said, okay, I'm ready to drop. Let's do this, you know, let's do this. I'm finna put, you know, these hats out. And it fell through. And, you know, each time I'm like, dang, bro, these people even gonna want it no more. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly, because I was literally supposed to
You
drop.
can't rush
these
good work.
you know,
over the
and
summer,
you
and
really
it-
can't rush good work. You know, fruitful and, you know, work that's actually derived from hard effort, you can't rush that. It's not going to be done over the weekend, even if you had the money, even if you had the time. It has to be fruitful
And when
work.
when it is rushed, you can tell that it's rushed.
You can
other
tell
people.
it's rushed.
Definitely.
And as an artist, I've realized that other artists and other people that are really like creatives, they can see when your work is rushed.
Mhm.
Like I'll have situations where I work on a bag, so I paint on tote bags and stuff. I work on a bag for 9 hours, and she's like, "How long did this take you?" And I was like, 9 hours, and she was like, "It doesn't look like it." It was offensive of her to say that
Yeah,
because it
that's
actually did take 9 hours,
And
but
you
But
weren't
you
there
can
for the
tell they're not a
process.
creative.
yeah, you
Yes,
can tell that they're not.
You
a
can
creative.
tell when a creative is critiquing your work because they're
Mhm.
critiquing not necessarily what could be better, but what they liked and how they saw you, and they can see how you got to that point. That's why
Right.
they like it so much.
Right.
'Cause
Yeah.
they can tell when they were in their shoes,
Mhm.
and when you did that, and you was like, "Oh man, I know how
Yeah.
hard that was for me, man." You snapped on that, bruh. But you know, a lot of the times, oh dang, I almost lost what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, when you know, a lot of times when you know rush to put out some work, 9 times out of 10, you will fall through the cracks somewhere else. You know, I would say the
Mhm.
universe, or you know, whatever you believe in, the highest. You know, he sets us up on this journey because we have to hit these checkpoints and these marks. You know, I'm not to knock any brands. You know, but you know, Kamari, he had FSO. You know, shout out to Kamari.
Shout out to
But you
Kamari.
can tell, you know, he didn't do a lot of his logistic work because his shipping rates and shipping times were very long. Like I had to wait like a month to get my hoodie. Hey, no shade though, no shade. But you
'Cause
know,
we all trying to get it out.
you
Yeah.
have to put your effort in at all stops.
Yeah.
You can't overlook anything, and that's what a lot of the time people don't know in entrepreneurship. If you just try to get to this stage, you know, but you didn't hit this stage of entrepreneurship, you're gonna get pushed all the way back here.
Yeah.
That's what I feel
See-
like. We have so many big aspirations for things, but we don't take the time to look at every fine detail, even though no matter how small it may be, for that matter. And we concentrate these things into other things, but then when we get that maybe lackluster feedback regarding certain things, we get offended by that. But it's just, I would say, creatives looking at what we did and realizing this is our best work, and we
Yeah.
should go back to the lab and work on that a little bit
Mhm.
more.
And you know, I'll
Mhm.
definitely say when you put your effort in and you did your thing, can't nobody tell you nothing. Cause you've been on this for
Because
how
you
long?
did it. You did it.
You've been working on this for how
Some
long?
people aren't gonna like it, and that's okay.
on God, and that's okay, and they can take that over there. You know what I call that? They called you out, but you ain't pick up. That's what it be, man. And you just gotta, I done said it 3 times. When you can't stay motivated, stay consistent, man. Keep working on it, man. Don't give up. Never, man. Don't never give up on your dreams. Don't never give up on your dreams.
Because there's always going to be somebody there telling you that you're not going to make it and you're not going to make it and you're never going to get it done.
Sometimes it's yourself telling you you're not going to make it.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, and it
Yes.
is yourself. But I'm saying, like you said, you got to stay consistent. And even if staying consistent is, I got to keep myself on a good
that
shit
straight and
lollipop.
narrow.
I gotta.
I'm saying.
Yeah, Shaki, you are gonna do good today. Today's gonna be a great day, and even if
And
it's
you know-
not a great day, guess what? You gonna make it.
It's just
And you
those
know what?
aspirations that you got to learn to speak.
Yeah.
for
We can end this
yourself.
off right here. Staying consistent. It's all in the little things, man. Just keep on with them little things. If you know you just gotta draw for 30 minutes today, 15 minutes, man. Draw you a little stick figure, you man. Hey, write down 2 bars to that song. Hey, man, source the sample for that beat, man. Just do something and stay consistent. Do not let yourself get stagnant and fall into the process that is not doing anything for weeks.
Right.
Do
Don't be
something
complacent.
every day for yourself and for your brand and what
You
you're
know what?
working on.
I'm glad you said that. I tell this to everybody. And I got
Write
some,
down Aiden's quote of the day.
please, somebody
Right.
please do.
And you can't stay motivated, stay consistent.
No, I
Right.
tell this to everybody when everybody is upset. And I love being the person people come to with their issues. For
No,
that
they can
matter.
keep that over there.
No, it can be a two-sided coin, but getting that satisfaction knowing that I'm able to help somebody, it's really good. But I'll tell this to people all the time. And I just started speaking this for myself. I said, let the money be my motivation, the healing be my salvation, and deter all things that may cause stagnation. So it's like I'm aiming for the money. I'm aiming for the highest amount of success. I don't want anything stopping me. That's where the stagnation comes in. And then when everything starts to work out for myself and I start feeling better about life, things start going better, that's my salvation. Let the healing be my salvation for that matter.
Right.
Let the healing be my salvation.
So you're gonna send that to the
bro,
group
that
chat?
is
Yeah,
so
do that.
real because almost all the time, through the effort, it is so much strife, stress, and anxiety.
Definitely.
But that end product and
Yeah.
looking towards that end goal, that's the salvation, man.
And you
That'd
can't
be a
see the
quick-
fruit of your labor till after.
Mhm.
So like when you're in the middle of it, like it seems so
dark.
dark and pointless. Like
me when I'm doing hair.
Oh God.
it seems so dark and pointless, but once you've like made it through and you look back, you're like, wow.
No, because
yeah.
I was telling, we gonna end it off right here, but I was telling y'all, bro, a lot of the times we be wanting and looking forward, wanting and yearning for what we're looking forward to, but we don't even realize we're right where we wanted to be 2 months ago.
Exactly.
Right where we wanted to be.
Little Aisha will be so proud
Bro,
right now.
yeah.
And
Little Jared
Little
sees me
Aden.
now. Oh my
Bro,
God.
little Aden would be like, bro, people are trying to buy your art. I'm like,
Yeah.
He probably cried for real.
he be
And
crying.
Right.
Jared does
That
not
little-
cry.
I was saying that little Aden and me would be tearing up, boy. Just no words.
A
I think
lot
it's just
of
human nature,
like
the yearning.
It's human nature to keep looking forward, but
Right.
we live in the present.
Exactly.
We live in the present. We're always going to be in the moment we're in. We can look towards the future and learn from the past, but we're always going to be in the moment we're in.
Exactly. And I don't think people understand that. I feel like as a society, we put so much focus on making a better future for ourselves. But how about can we make a better selves for ourselves now? Like we're
Present.
Yes.
that's what when that poem that I wrote, we are living in hell right now. Like I don't like to believe in the construct of, oh, there's this heavenly place up in
Yeah.
the sky where these clouds and the birds sing. I believe that there is some place that we go after. And I don't really know if there is a hell. I don't know if there's a heaven for that matter, but I do. That's neither here or there. But I feel as if hell is what we make for ourselves on earth right now. We live in our own hell, so we have to learn how to make a heaven for ourselves so we can reach that place in life.
Yeah.
No, we literally do live in our own hell, because a lot of the times people, they're not on their 3 spectrums, they're not learning from their past. They may be learning from their past, but not living in their present and looking towards their future, or some, mix of the 3. But once you learn from your past, live in your present and look towards your future and work on all 3 simultaneously, you're there. Because a lot of the times people have that anxiety looking towards the future, so they can't work on their present, or they're stuck
That's a
and
problem I
tied by their
have.
past, so they can't look towards the future.
Yeah.
And their present is just their past, and that's all that's making up of them. But we have to live in the moment. and work on ourselves in the moment, do our little things, you know, because that's what builds and caters to our future, our present right now.
Exactly. What happened in the past, it's
Just
done.
let it be that.
Just let it be that. Let the past be the past and learn.
We're gonna talk
from it.
about letting the past be the past on a different.
Hey man,
episode.
we do not want to jump off this episode. Everybody keep jumping on to a new topic. We are loving it, bro. We are loving this conversation, man. But hey, what time we at?
You gotta have our
57
highlight
minutes?
clips, man.
We're at 50.
50 minutes?
55.
50.
55.
Yeah.
Hey man, that sounds like we finna wrap it up for this episode.
That's what
wrap
it
it up.
sounds like.
Hey, what we ended it off with though? When you can't stay motivated, stay consistent.
Stay
Stay
consistent.
consistent.
Hey, to my gifted students, to my artists, to my entrepreneurs, bro, stay consistent, man. Hey, that was the Sandbox Podcast. I'm Aden.
I'm Ashaki,
I'm Aisha.
I'm Jared.
Hey.
and we out.
Ah,